Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Byzantium, a poem by Butler Yeats. Byzantium is a sequel which is written by W.B. Yeats to his poem Sailing to Byzantium. In Sailing to Byzantium, he talks about his journey to Byzantium, and in this poem, Byzantium, he talks about his experience at Byzantium, where he is there. And the theme of the poem is human imperfection versus perfectness of art. That is, man-made things are always there, whereas human have lot of imperfection, and at the same time they are also mortal. And about terrestrial life versus spiritual or afterlife, that is how life will be after you die. And the contrasting image of day and night, which is symbolically presenting the contrasting life before and after death. And in this poem, the poet metaphorically presents human life as nothing and momentous, while the same time what he has made, that is the man-made arts, remain forever. Byzantium presents the night view of the place. As the night emerges, all the human activities are slowly stopping, and finally there is nothing. Even the emperor's soldiers get drunk and they go to sleep. And by the time the gong, which is sounded from the church of St. Sophia, which is the center of Byzantium, is heard, even the sounds that generally are heard during the night and the songs of the night walkers, that is the prostitutes, all fade because everything goes to sleep. And at that time the poet has a vision, and that vision appears before him, and he wonders whether it is actually a man or a shade which he saw. And further, when he keeps on looking, he realizes that what he saw was a shade more than a man, not a man but a shade, and it is an image more than a shade. And he says that that image was actually floating, which makes it very clear that that image should be carried away by the wind. And therefore, we come to know that what he saw should have been a ghost or a spirit, and therefore the land in which he is staying is the land where we go after our death. And we also should understand that head bobbins, that is the dead people, are wound in the mummy cloth, and generally that takes a winding path to reach him. And also there are no moisture or breath, and the image which he saw was dry mouth. So the speaker addresses the spirit as superhuman because it reflects the ultimate truth. And what is that ultimate truth is death and life and life and death. That is, death is not the end of a life because a soul is there forever. And therefore, even in death there is life. That is what he says. Then he sees a golden bird or a golden image of the bird which is placed on the starlit golden bow. And he says it's a miracle because it is more than a bird. It's not an ordinary bird. It's a golden bird. And he says that when it crows, it is like the cocks of Hades, and Hades is the city of the dead and the ghost. And in its glory of changeless metal, because this gold is the purest metal, and it is not going to change because it is made, it's an art which is made, and therefore this bird is immortal. And therefore this immortal bird scorns the birds of petals, that is the mortal ones which are living in this world. And this bird image becomes something that is immune to the impurities and aging of human experience. The art, which is actually man-made, becomes something that gives reason to human existence, because the person who made this will die and go away, but his heart will always be there and remind to the world that this artist, this sculpture, he was there at this time, and it is he who made this art. And at midnight on the empress pavement he sees a fire. This is not an ordinary fire, it is a self-generated fire, because there are no fuel sticks to let the fire to continue to burn, or it was not caused by the striking of the iron and flintstone. And this fire keeps on rising out one after the other. The fire is continuously on, and miraculously we find even the storm is not able to put out the fire. And he says the blood begotten spirits come there to remove their impurities and earthly passions from them. And blood begotten spirits can also be said as the spirits of those who died during the World War and the Civil War in Ireland. And all these spirits, they come there and they dance in this mystical fire. Yet they can even burn the sleeves. That is, the fire is a real fire. It is because it was a self uh, made fire doesn't mean that it does not have the power to burn you. And this fire also allegorically refers to the judgmental mention in the Bible to those impure souls, because if these impure souls jump into the fire, their sins will be cleared from them. And spirit after spirit, they come to ride on the dolphins, and this also symbolically refers to the Romans belief of the dead carried to the isles of the blessed on the dolphins. And the golden blacksmiths of the emperor are given the responsibility of keeping everything in order. And at the same time, the marbles of the dancing floor break even the little furies of complexity for those images that beget fresh images and fire. Still, the process of the spirits being carried on despite the sea being torn by the dolphins and the silence of the night disturbed by the gong sound. Now let's read the song. The unpurged images of day reside. He says, all the images of the day, they keep disappearing in the night. The emperor's drunken soldier are abed. Even the emperor's soldiers, they drink and go to bed. Night resonance recites night walker's song. Everything in the night, whatever sounds you hear in the night, even that gets disappearing, including the night walkers. That is a prostitute's song. After a great cathedral gong, a starlit or a moonlit dome disdains all that man is, all mere complicities, the fury and the mere of human beings. And by the time we can hear the gong from the cathedral, everything is silent now. Before me floats an image, man or shade? Shade more than man, more image than a shade. And he says, before me I can see one image floating. And I don't know whether it's man or a shade. But I feel it is a shade more than a man, and it's an image more than a shade. For Hade's bobbin bound in mummy cloth may unwind the winding path. A mouth that has no moisture and no breath, breathless mouths may summon. He says it is like a Hade's bobbin. Hades is a city of dead or spirits, and he says generally dead bodies in certain places they'll surrounded with a mummy cloth, and this cloth, if it is removed, if it is unbound, we can see the mouth which has no moisture and there will be no breath because it is dead. And he says this is there, and he calls it, I hail the superhuman. I call it the superhuman. I call it death in life and life in death, because it shows that it is dead, but even now it has life, and therefore it is life and death. Miracle, bird or golden handiwork. Then he sees a bird and he's wondering whether it is a golden bird or a golden handiwork. More miracle than bird or handiwork. He says it is a miracle planted on the starlit golden bow, can like the cocks of Hades crow, or by the moon embedded scorn aloud in glory of changeless metal. He says, and this golden bird is on a golden bow. And he says it cocks like the Hades crow. Hades is, again I'm telling you, it is a place of the death or the spirit, and the sound which is made by this bird, the way it cocks, is like the Hades crow, and it is actually scorning to the other birds, because this is made out of gold, which is a changeless metal, it's a pure metal, but it is scorning the common bird or petal and all complexities of mere or blood. And this bird, the way it crows, it's as though it is making fun of the birds which are alive on the earth. At midnight on the empress pavement flit flames that no faggot feeds, nor steel has lit, nor storm disturbs flames begotten of flame, where blood begotten spirits come. And in the night he sees fire near the emperor's pavement. And he says this fire is not burning because there is wood in there, or it is not because the steel has been rubbed with the flintstone. It is as though it is a self-made fire, and even the storm is not able to put out that fire. And the flames are coming out one after the other, and in that flame, where blood begotten spirits come and all complexities of furry leaf, all the spirits come and they fall in this fear and they dance in this fear, and they do so because they know that all their sins will be removed from them, all the impure things will be removed from them, because this fire is a magical fire. Dying into a dance, an agony of trance, an agony of flame that cannot seem just leave. And he's saying they are all dancing in this fire. And all that is because they want to get rid of all the impurities which they have. A straddle on the dolphin's myrrh and blood, spirit after spirit. The spirits break the flood, the golden smithies of the emperor. And after that, on the dolphins, all these spirits are traveling, because now all the impurities have gone, the sins have gone. Now they are going to the place where they will enjoy after death. Marbles of the dancing floor break bitter furies of complexities. These images that yet fresh images beget, the dolphin tone that gong tormented sea. And so now, where the night was so very quiet, is now filled with the sound of the dolphins traveling with the spirits on them, and the gong which torments even the sea. Here the poem ends. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.